Hey VC, it's Jonathan, your cheap and cheerful record collector. Hope everybody's doing well out there. It's a snowy day here in Maine. We just got back from a week in Austin, Texas, and we had a great time. Did a VC meetup with John Ziegler, and we had just a great time. He showed me a couple of record shops. We went to lunch. I met my wife. We went out to lunch, had a great time. Just talking records and hanging out, so it was great. Austin's a great town. We explored, went around, went out one night to the Continental Club, heard some music, heard a band called the Hot Club of Cowtown, which was just great. They guitar, violin, and stand-up bass, and it was happy hour, so it was no charge. Just come on in, drink, and listen to some music, and do a little dancing. It was just great. We had a great time. And I bought some records when I was there. So this is about the records I got there, plus a bunch of other stuff I got. So a lot of things to go through. So we met John at a place called, the first place we went was Waterloo Records. And we went in there and went right to the back of the store where they had all the recent acquisitions. And I spent more than I should have, but I got stuff I've been looking for, which is great. First one up that I got was this Michael Naismith album. I have the blue and the white. If you don't know, he put out 3 records, all with the different color covers with the same round design. There's the red, white, and the blue. I had the blue and the white. Picked them up last year. So I was looking for the red, real happy to get that. Again, most of the stuff I paid more than I usually pay for records. But I was on vacation, so I didn't give a shit, and I said, you know what? Just do it. So this is Mike Naismith and the First National Band. Looking forward to digging into this. These all have to be cleaned. A couple of them were new, which I already listened to. I'll let you know about that, but the rest are still need a good cleaning before I give them a spin. But I love the blue and the white, so I'm not worried about this. This is going to be a great album. So Michael Naismith, the first one. Second one I found was another Michael Naismith that when I showed the blue and the white one last time, people said, well, if you got like that, you got to get the next one. And this is called And the Hits Just Keep On Coming. So another Michael Naismith album. And nice gatefold. Nice color gatefold. And what I do like is that in the back they have all the lyrics. Because I really do like to... First time I listen to a record, I like to read the lyrics and go through it as they play it. Gives you a much better feel for it. And so yeah, looking forward to this. So 2 Michael Naismith albums. So I was happy to find both those. Also, we're still at Waterloo Records. Great Chicago harmonica player, Charlie Musselwhite. And this is Leave the Blues to Us. This is a reissue, but that's okay. Happy to get it in any condition. It's good condition, but whether it's a original or not. Also has Mike Bloomfield, Barry Goldberg on here, so that's sort of cool. The year, this one doesn't say when the original came out. I'm going to guess late 60s, early 70s. But there you go. Charlie Musselwhite. So I'm looking forward to, again, digging into that. Also, another one of my favorites, sort of a obscure musician, played on a lot of stuff, you know, as a studio musician. A lot of Jackson Browne, Warren Zevon albums, etc. And that is David Lindley. I have a couple of his albums. I never saw this one before. This is called Mr. Dave, David Lindley. Yeah, that's all. David Lindley. What can I say? Great musician. Again, haven't listened to it yet because I'm waiting to get it nice and cleaned up. 1985 on Warner Records. Oh, this is actually a French pressing. So that's sort of cool. David Lindley. Great guitar player, great musician. Also there, I was happy to find a couple other ones. Doc and Merle Watson. And this is Lonesome Road. Anything by Doc. It was just his birthday the other day. He passed away a number of years ago, but I guess it was just his birthday recently. And looking forward to this one. Love Doc. What a great guitar picker. and his son Merle, wonderful. So, Doc and Merle Watson. And this one I picked up, I knew nothing about it, but I think he's a local Texan, and his name is Rusty Weir. It's called Stack Deck. It's a white label promo. And as far as I know, let me just see. I was wondering if he wrote all these songs or not. It doesn't really say right here whether he wrote all these songs. I mean, it must say somewhere, but it's I don't have the time to go through all this to see. But great musicians on here. Remix. Where's the Real World? Mastered. Personal thanks. Anyway, looking forward to digging into this one. Rusty Weir, white label promo. Next one was a sort of a blind buy, but I'd read that it was really great, and it was a brand new record at a decent price, and it's Black Joe Lewis and the Honey Bears, and this is The Difference Between Me and You. This was new. I played this already. This is just great, straight up blues, and yeah, nothing special on the label, but yeah, great album. Really enjoyed this. Straight up blues. What can I say? Guy can play, guy can sing. Recorded at Orange Studios in Austin, Texas. So I guess he's a Texas man. So another great blues album. All right, so we finished that. That's all. I bought all those at Waterloo Records. And then we went to lunch. Took us to a great little taco place where we had tacos and hung out. That was good. After that, we went over to Half Price Books and Records, which we don't have here in Maine. And I got to say, a lot of the prices were a lot more than half price. If they were half price, things were really expensive. But I did happen to find two things at a decent price. And the first one was a Blind Lemon Jefferson album. Third milestone collection of the classic country blues, a legendary singer-guitarist. And this was from the Austin Public Library in remarkably good condition, considering it's a library album. And this was $5.99, which I'm really happy that was a good price to pay for that. And Blind Lemon Jefferson, one of the original Delta blues singers. Very, very raw stuff, but great. Love that raw Texas blues. So looking forward to that. And then, for something completely different, also at the Half Price Books, Django Reinhardt. This is and his jazz guitar. It doesn't really give you much information about when it was recorded or what song or what it was in particular, but yeah, on Sutton Records, which I don't know anything about. What can I tell you? Give it a spin, see what you say. But can't be bad when it's Django. So it's a Django album I never saw before. So anytime I see a Django Reinhardt album in decent condition, I gotta grab it. All right, so that was the first day. And then later that afternoon, my wife and I were driving around, and we had some time. So we decided to hit one more record store. And we went to End of an Ear. So I went into End of an Ear, as you can see. And great store, great collection of records. And I was able to pick up some other albums there. Sticking with the blues, Rory Gallagher. I have a couple of his now. This is like a third or fourth I have. I'm really, really digging him. Top Priority is the album on Chrysalis. Again, haven't cleaned it up yet, so haven't really dug into it yet, but I'm looking forward to getting this cleaned up. Love me some Rory Gallagher. Man can play. Also, as you see, I'm heavily into the blues. Big Bill Broonzy. This is Hollerin' and Cryin' the Blues. This is a French press. Don't have a date on it. Vogue Records. Never saw that label before. Cool little label. In really nice condition. So looking forward to listening to this one too once I clean this bad boy up. Big Bill Broonzy. And also there, while we're in the blues, Furry Lewis. Furry Lewis was a bottleneck guitar player. Again, one of the original Delta Blues guitar players. This is a solo album, just him, vocals and guitars. This is a German pressing made in West Germany on Ace Records. Also a cool little label, Ace Records. And again, going to get this cleaned up and give it a spin. But I'm pretty much, I know Furry Lewis, I have heard a bunch of his stuff. I have my compilations, but this is the first album, straight album with this I have. So looking forward to that. And then just before I was ready to leave, I saw this, and this was also brand new, and it was marked down from $16.49 to, or $18.49 to $14.99, and I just had to grab it. And it's Tom Waits' Foreign Affairs, so another great album to add to my collection. This one is a newer repress. I don't know if it's going to show up on the VC, but it's a beautiful gray, opaque gray, and it sounds fabulous. I mean, a great pressing and a great album. And what I liked about it is looking at the record itself, and it says on the inside here, every performance on this album was recorded simultaneously with the orchestra in the studio with no overdubbing or multi-tracking, and was mixed directly to 2-track master tapes as it was being performed, recorded July 28th, August 2nd, 11th, 12th, 15th, 1977. So I love the fact that it's recorded with no overdubs, no over-tracking, nothing, just the recording, everyone in the studio together recording. I thought that, I love albums like that. And this is a master album. I don't know if you know this particular one by Tom. If you don't like his really, I'm not gonna say weird, but the stuff he's into more recently, this is sort of a transitional album, I think. And highly recommended. Highly recommended. Great album. So then when we thought we were done buying records in Austin, we traveled to Green, Texas, and which was just north of San Antonio. And we're walking around, and there is a antique mall, and I go in, and they have lots of records. So I grabbed these two, which I was happy to get. Guy Clark, my first Guy Clark album. This is Texas Cookin', 1976, and has all your Jerry Jeff Walker's on here, Emmylou Harris is on here, Hoyt Axton, Tracy Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Johnny Gimbel. I mean, come on. Gotta love it. So that's Guy Clark, Texas Cookin'. And one more. So this one was sort of, didn't fit in the mode of Texas country, but I saw it and I said, gotta have it. Curtis Mayfield, Curtis Live. Nice 2-record set in decent condition. Recorded live at the Bitter End in New York City. Nice gatefold with lyrics again, which I like. And there's Curtis. So couldn't let that sit there. Curtis Mayfield Live. So that was my trip to Texas. I got back from Texas, and a record I had ordered was, let me get rid of this hat. A record I had ordered was in the mail waiting for me when I got home. And that was great because I never ordered from this place before. And I was a little bit hesitant because, you know, when you don't know these places. And this was from overseas. I was a little bit hesitant, but I'm real happy with it. Turned out great. And it's Thelonious Monk. And this is Crisscross. And let me get the thing here for a second. What does it say? Pressed on audiophile grade, 180-gram vinyl at in Germany, a limited numbered edition of 2000. This is number 1388. Not that I really give a shit, but sort of nice. And they're great German pressing of a fantastic album. Columbia. But fantastic record. I'm a big Monk fan, so I'm real happy to add this to my collection. This has Charlie Rouse, Frankie Dunlap, and John Orr on bass. Sounds amazing. So there you go. And then, to continue, yesterday I met up with Brian. the Shamrockin' Records, Brian Lozo, and we met up down in Biddeford and went back to his house. We hung out for a while. I had given him a couple of records. He gave me a couple of records. We're doing some trading. We're doing some VCLT. So this is what I ended up getting from Brian, which I'm real happy about. He had for some reason, he had 2 copies of this and decided to give me one, which was super nice of him for VCLT, is The Nude Party. As you know me, I'm not much into new stuff, but this is great. I went on YouTube and listened to a couple of songs, and just great. I mean, real evocative of 60s rock and roll. And this one has what I think should be the theme song for the VC, is the last song in side 1, which is called Records. And the refrain is something along the lines of, I don't need your love, I just need my records. So, there you go, The Nude Party. If you haven't heard it, definitely check it out. I thought it was great. He also had some jazz albums he picked up, which he laid on me, which was really wonderful. This first one just blew me away. This is Ahmad Abdul Malik. I know him from playing, when he is playing with Monk and Herbie Mann he played with, Nina Simone, Max Roach. Bass player out of New York. This album, Sounds of Africa, is just stunning. It's fantastic. This is a 1965 repress of a 62 release on Prestige, but it is a mono copy and it sounds amazing. Side 1 is more, has a song called Africa Bossa Nova. Side 2 is more African inspired. He has congos, bongos, African drums. It's amazing record. Just blew me away how great it was. So Brian, thanks again, man. It's a winner. Also, Brian knows how much I am enamored of the Hawk. So he picked this one up also, Coleman Hawkins. This is Hawkins Live at the Village Gate with Tommy Flanagan on piano. Another great record. Love Coleman Hawkins. What a great tone he has on his machine there. He also has, the jazz. Jaws by Eddie Lockjaw Davis. And this is with Shirley Scott on Prestige. I assume this is a repress. I haven't really checked it out thoroughly. It looks like the original label, but I think it's a repress of the original label. So, looking forward to digging into that. Shirley Scott plays organ on here. Of course, Eddie Lockjaw Davis on tenor sax. So, another great album. One I've been looking for a while and haven't found. I used to have this way back in the day, so I'm really glad to add this to my collection again. And it's Love Da Capo, considered their best album by many, many people. So, again, this afternoon, I'm going to have a cleaning session. I'm going to clean all these up, and then I'm going to start spinning them. It's a snowy day out, no reason to go out there in the snow, so I'm not going to. It says Love Da Capo. And the last one is a record he had. These are all from Brian, by the way. This last one is a record I'd never heard of. He'd never heard of, but he liked the cover, so he grabbed it. And it's Backwards Sam F and Delta X. 1969. We listened to it. It's White Boy Blues, a la Spider John Kerner and that group of people, Blues Rags and Hollers, early like Dave Van Ronk, but not with that kind of voice, but more, folk blues. But we listened to one side of it, and I thought it was really good. Don't know anything about these guys. All I can see is 1969. And, yeah. Backwards Sam Firk, it said. F-I-R-K. And Delta X. From 1969. So he laid those on me. I got a couple things I'm going to give him. And I think that's enough records for this week. Hope everybody has a great day out there. And until next time, peace.